Welcome to Catholic Shrine Basilica YouTube channel. Jasna Góra Monastery, Częstochowa, Poland. Introduction. The Jasna Góra Monastery in Częstochowa, Poland, is a shrine dedicated to the Virgin Mary and one of the country's places of pilgrimage. The image of the Black Madonna of Częstochowa, also known as Our Lady of Czestochowa, to which miraculous powers are attributed, is one of Jasna Góra's most precious treasures. The site is one of Poland's official national historic monuments, Pomnik Historii, and is tracked by the National Heritage Board of Poland. Every year since the Middle Ages, thousands of Poles go in pilgrim groups to visit Jasna Góra. In 2011, it was estimated that 3.2 million pilgrims from 80 countries around the world went to the shrine. Around 830,000 pilgrims took part in 228 pilgrimages organized in different places across Poland. 143,983 pilgrims of which reached the monastery on foot. The average distance for a pilgrim group to travel is about 350 kilometers, 217 miles, made in 11 days. Our Lady of Jasna Góra. Jasna Góra's greatest treasure is the miraculous image of the Mother of God. Thanks to him, Jasna Góra became one of the largest Marian sanctuaries in Poland in the 15th century. The fact why this happened is not explained either by the legend that attributes the authorship of the icon of Saint Łukasz Ewangelista, nor the protection of the royal couple, Jadwiga and Władysław Jagiello. The reason for the uniqueness of this place must be deeper, but it should be emphasized that no Marian apparitions have ever been recorded at Jasna Góra, as was the case in other shrines. The strength and mystery that attract pilgrims to the feet of the Lady of Jasna Góra is her miraculous image. Without it, Jasna Góra would be just a collection of buildings, memorabilia and works of art, perhaps a beautiful and rich, but dead museum. The oldest description of the image of the Mother of God is given by Jan de Lugos in Liber Beneficiorum, the image of the most glorious and most distinguished Virgin and Lady, Queen of the world and our Queen, made in a strange and rare way of painting with a lovely expression on the face that permeates the viewers with special piety, as if you were looking at a living person. The painting belongs to the type of representation known as Hodogatria. This name means she who leads. It shows Mary as the Mother of God, but also the mother of every human being. About the origins of the image and its history until 1382, we do not have certain and strictly historical information, only tradition and various pious legends. According to tradition, the picture of the Lady of Jasna Góra was supposed to be painted by Saint Łukasz the Evangelist during the lifetime of the Blessed Virgin. The same tradition even states that the image is painted on a tabletop used by the Holy Family in Nazareth. In the 4th century, Saint Helena, mother of Emperor Constantine the Great, was to bring this picture with her to Constantinople. There he experienced great reverence and was a help in times of especially great misfortunes, such as contagious diseases, epidemics, etc. Around the 9th or 10th century, the picture went north, where it finally rested permanently in the Belski Castle, northeast of Lviv, in Red Ruthenia. In 1382, Władysław, Prince of Opole, ruled in Ruthenia on behalf of King Ludwik Wierzbicki. The prince, wanting to protect the painting against possible desecration by pagan Tatars, once during the siege of Belski Castle, a Tatar arrow fell through the window of the chapel to hit the neck of the Mother of God, decided to transport the painting to Opole in Silesia. When on the way he stopped for a short rest in Częstochowa at the foot of the church at Jasna Góra, the Mother of God was to let him know her will, that he wanted to stay here. Therefore, Opole left the picture at Jasna Góra Monastery, entrusting it to the care of the White Pauline Fathers, brought from Hungary in 1382. History of Jasna Góra Monastery, Częstochowa, Poland. Jasna Góra Monastery was founded in 1382 by Pauline monks who came from Hungary at the invitation of Władysław, Duke of Opole. The monastery has been a pilgrimage destination for hundreds of years, and it contains an important icon of the Virgin Mary. The icon, depicting the Mother of God with the Christ child, is known as the Black Madonna of Czestochowa or Our Lady of Czestochowa, which is widely venerated and credited with many miracles. Among these, it is credited with miraculously saving the Jasna Góra Monastery during the siege of Jasna Góra that took place at the time of the Deluge, a 17th-century Swedish invasion. The event stimulated the Polish resistance. The Poles could not immediately change the course of the war, but, after an alliance with the Crimean Khanate, they repulsed the Swedes. Shortly thereafter, in the Cathedral of Lwów, on April 1, 1656, Jan Kazimierz, the King of Poland, solemnly pronounced his vow to consecrate the country to the protection of the Mother of God and proclaimed her the patron and queen of the lands in his kingdom. Among the monastery's most important exhibits is the medal from the 1983 Nobel Peace Prize received by Lech Walesa, the former Polish president and trade union organizer. There are typically numerous pilgrims and tourists at Jasna Góra Monastery, and the volume of excited voices can be high. However, upon entering the monastery, it is expected etiquette for visitors to be silent or as quiet as possible out of respect. Often, there is a long line of people who wait to approach the shrine of the Black Madonna of Czestochowa. Upon arriving at the place of the shrine at which one would pass in front of the icon of Our Lady, it is expected and a sign of respect for pilgrims to drop to their knees, and traverse the interior of the shrine on their knees. With its population barely exceeding 200,000 inhabitants, Częstochowa may not be the largest city of Poland. At the same time, this charming place in south-central part of the country, reachable within 90 minutes of a ride from Krakow, is one of the most popular tourist and pilgrimage choices for its visitors. With a one-day trip to Częstochowa, you will take a chance to pay a 2-hour lasting visit to the fortified Polite Monastery, where the widely revered icon of Black Madonna is unveiled twice a day, at 6 a.m. and 1:30 p.m., to be admired by countless followers of the Marian cult developed there. Black Madonna is the major point of interest for the masses of pilgrims to Częstochowa. This holy painting has often been associated with Saint Luke the Evangelist as its alleged author, having been discovered anew in 385 in Jerusalem only to arrive in Częstochowa in 1384. Displayed in the oldest part of the monastery complex, the 15th-century Gothic chapel of Our Lady, beautifully ornamented with further applied Baroque ornaments, Black Madonna is there to hear the prayers of Catholic believers, being left a great number of votive offerings available to see inside the chapel. This Byzantine-style icon represents the Holy Virgin pointing at the infant Jesus she is holding to indicate him as the source of salvation. The scars on the cheek of the Holy Virgin are said to be slashed with the swords of Bohemian robbers who looted the shrine on the Easter of 1430. The sacred image is also credited with the successful defense of the monastery against Swedish troops during the Deluge, due to which King Jan Kazimierz announced the Mother of God the Queen of Polish crown on April 1, 1656. This speaks volumes about the turbulent history of the sanctuary you will hear a lot of throughout the tour you will take. The sanctuary of Częstochowa has been visited by organized groups of pilgrims since the Middle Ages. Currently, some of such groups travel the distance as long as 638 kilometers to reach the holy site, with the starting point of the pilgrimage located at the Hel Peninsula. Traditionally, it is August when innumerable walking pilgrims head for Częstochowa, with August 15, the Assumption of the Holy Virgin Mary, as the peak of international gatherings on the top of Luminous Mountain. Pope John Paul II, the honorary citizen of the city, was particularly keen on paying his respects to the Holy Virgin Mary of Częstochowa, visiting the sanctuary for a number of times prior to and during his papacy. While following his steps, you will also sightsee the impartial parts of the monastery complex, including the 106-meter bell tower, also a convenient observation point to admire the beautiful panorama of Częstochowa from opulent Baroque basilica that adjoins the aforementioned chapel, treasury where the votive offerings to the Black Madonna have been stored since the 14th century, and the 14 stations of the cross surrounding the said basilica. Crumbs from the history of the miraculous image of Our Lady of Jasna Góra. The painting is painted on 3 linden boards with the total dimensions: height 121.8 centimeters, width 81.3 centimeters, maximum thickness 3.5 centimeters. It shows the Blessed Virgin Mary in a standing posture, with the baby Jesus in her arms. Mary is turned towards the faithful, and the face of the child towards the pilgrim, although she does not stop her eyes on him. Both faces are united by the expression of reflection, as if of a certain absence and seriousness. The right cheek of Our Lady is marked by 2 parallel lines, cut with a third at the nose line. There are 6 cuts in the neck, 2 of which are quite clearly visible, and the other 4 are less pronounced. The child, clothed in a carmine-colored dress, rests on Mary's left shoulder. He holds a book in his left hand, and raises his right hand upwards in a characteristic gesture of a teacher, ruler or blessing. Mary's right hand is resting on her breast, pointing to Jesus, the only Savior of the world. The blue navy blue gown and the Marian of the same color of Our Lady are decorated with golden Andy-Gavin lilies. Above the forehead of the Virgin, the painter placed a 6-pointed star. The image of the Mother of God is painted on the background of a blue and green color, which changes into the shade of the sea wave. The dominant element of the icon are gilded nimbuses around the heads of Mary and Jesus, the symbol of God the Father, which merge into one composition, constituting a characteristic detail, contrasting with the dark complexion of the saints' faces. Hence, sometimes the Mother of God is called the Black Madonna. Above the forehead of the Virgin, the painter placed a 6-pointed star. The image of the Mother of God is painted on the background of a blue and green color, which changes into the shade of the sea wave. The dominant element of the icon are gilded nimbuses around the heads of Mary and Jesus, the symbol of God the Father, which merge into one composition, constituting a characteristic detail, contrasting with the dark complexion of the saints' faces. Hence, sometimes the Mother of God is called the Black Madonna. In 1430, expensive votive offerings from the chapel were robbed at Jasna Góra, and the miraculous image was damaged. After being stripped of the valuables, the image was cut with a saber and broken. It was found, according to tradition, in the place where the Church of St. Barbara with a wonderful spring, near Jasna Góra. The Pauline Fathers brought the destroyed painting to Krakow, to the court of King Władysław Jagiello, who, together with his wife, Saint Jadwiga, he is the founder of the oldest part of the chapel of Our Lady at Jasna Góra. King Władysław Jagiello himself took care of the restoration of the painting. There were many difficulties related to the painting technique of the Jasna Góra picture. It was probably so damaged that it was decided to put new canvases on the existing board, considered a relic, and repaint the image according to the drawing visible on old damaged canvases, pieces of which were left under new canvases. Permanent traces of the destruction of the image in 1430 are the scars on the face of Our Lady. A characteristic feature that everyone will recognize the Jasna Góra image is the scars on the face of the Mother of God. The Jasna Góra painting is marked with wounds and pain. There are many wounds, cuts in the picture, on the neck, on the face and 2 under the right eye. As if Our Lady wanted to tell us that she is the mother and queen of a nation tormented for centuries. As 7 swords of sorrow pierced her heart under the cross, so now she carries the signs of painful wounds on her Jasna Góra face. On the left side of the image, there are insignia of the Mother of God, Queen of Poland, a scepter and an apple made in 1926 from the foundation of Polish women by the Warsaw Company Bracia Lopieńscy. On the right side of the picture are golden rose and a golden votive in the shape of a heart with the inscription Totus Tuus, donated by the Holy Father John Paul II in 1979 and 1982. An unusual and shocking votive offering left by Saint Pope John Paul II, currently exhibited in a special cassette on the altar of the Mother of God, is his cassock belt, shot through and bloodied during the attack on St. Peter on May 13, 1981. The image of the Mother of God is covered with a silver bolt from 1723 with an allegorical composition referring to the Immaculate Conception of the Blessed Virgin Mary. The damper is surrounded by a border from 1763, which is a foundation of the Jelinski family. From the very beginning, the painting from Jasna Góra was famous for its miracles, which made the Marian sanctuary in Częstochowa famous and made pilgrims from all over Poland, and in the following centuries from more distant European countries, started to come to Jasna Góra. Jan Długosz, who died in 1480, wrote, "From all of Poland and the neighboring countries, namely, Silesia, Moravia, Prussia, and Hungary, for the feast of the Holy Mary, whose rare and pious image is located in this place, the pious people gathered for amazing miracles which, thanks to Our Lady and the Advocate, happened here." A sign of the pilgrims' faith were the numerous votive offerings offered to the Mother of God, the value of which should be determined today primarily by the value of the pure and sublime intentions in which they were made, and not by their valuables or the person of the donor. Monastic etiquette. There are typically numerous pilgrims and tourists at Jasna Góra Monastery, and the volume of excited voices can be high. However, upon entering the monastery, it is expected etiquette for visitors to be silent or as quiet as possible out of respect. Often, there is a long line of people who wait to approach the shrine of the Black Madonna of Częstochowa. Upon arriving at the place of the shrine at which one would pass in front of the icon of Our Lady, it is expected and a sign of respect for pilgrims to drop to their knees, and traverse the interior of the shrine on their knees. Black Madonna of Czestochowa, Our Lady of Czestochowa. The Black Madonna of Czestochowa, Polish, Czarna Madonna, Matka Boska Czestochowska, Latin, Imago Thaumaturga Beate Virginis Mariae Immaculati Concepti, in Claro Monte, miraculous image of the Immaculate Conception, the Blessed Virgin Mary in Clear Mountain, also known as Our Lady of Czestochowa, is a venerated icon of the Blessed Virgin Mary housed at the Jasna Góra Monastery in Częstochowa, Poland. Several pontiffs have recognized the venerated icon, beginning with Pope Clement XI, who issued a canonical coronation to the image on 8 September 1717 via the Vatican chapter. It has also merited 3 pontifical golden roses to date. The painting, 122 by 82 centimeters, displays a traditional composition well known in the icons of Orthodox Christianity. The Virgin Mary is shown as the Hodagatria version, meaning one who shows the way. In it, Mary directs attention away from herself, gesturing with her right hand toward Jesus as the source of salvation. In turn, the child extends his right hand toward the viewer in blessing while holding a book of Gospels in his left hand. The icon shows Mary in fleur-de-lis robes. The origins of the icon and the date of its composition are still contested among scholars. One difficulty in dating the icon is due in part to its original image being painted over after being severely damaged by robbers in 1430. The wooden panel backing the painting was broken, and the image slashed. Medieval restorers unfamiliar with the encaustic method found that the paints they applied to the damaged areas simply sloughed off the image, according to the medieval chronicler Rhizanius. Their solution was to erase the original image and repaint it on the original panel. The original features of an Orthodox icon were softened, the nose was made more aquiline. Lucan tradition. The icon of Our Lady of Czestochowa has been intimately associated with Poland for the past 600 years. Its history before it arrived in Poland is shrouded in numerous legends that trace the icon's origin to Luke the Evangelist, who painted it on a cedar tabletop from the Holy Family House. The same legend holds that the painting was discovered in Jerusalem in 326 by Helena, who brought it back to Constantinople and presented it to her son, Constantine the Great. Arrival in Czestochowa. The oldest documents from Jasna Góra state that the picture traveled from Constantinople via Belz. Eventually, it came into the possession of Władysław Opolczyk, Duke of Opole, and advisor to Louis of Anjou, King of Poland and Hungary. Ukrainian sources state that earlier in its history, it was brought to Belz with much ceremony and honors by King Lev I of Galicia and later taken by Władysław from the castle of Belz when the town was incorporated into the Polish kingdom. A famous story tells that in late August 1384, Ladislas was passing Czestochowa with the picture when his horses refused to go on. He was advised in a dream to leave the icon at Jasna Góra. Art historians say that the original painting was a Byzantine icon created around the 6th or 9th century. They agree that Prince Władysław brought it to the monastery in the 14th century. Our Lady declared as Queen and Protector of Poland. In August 1382, the hilltop parish church was transferred to the Polites, a Hermitic order from Hungary. The golden fleur-de-lis painted on the Virgin's blue veil parallel the heraldic azure, semi-de-lis, or of the French royal coat of arms, and the most likely explanation for their presence is that the icon had been present in Hungary during the reign of either Charles I of Hungary or Louis the Great, the Hungarian kings of the Anjou dynasty. They probably had the fleur-de-lis of their family's coat of arms painted on the icon. This would suggest that the image was probably originally brought to Jasna Góra by the Pauline monks from their founding monastery in Hungary. The Black Madonna is said to have miraculously saved the monastery of Jasna Góra, Bright Mount, from a Swedish invasion. The siege of Jasna Góra took place in the winter of 1655 during the Second Northern War, as the Swedish invasion of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth is known. The Swedes were attempting to capture the Jasna Góra Monastery in Częstochowa. The sacred icon was replaced with a copy and the original moved in secret to the castle in Lubliniec, and later to the Pauline Monastery in Mokau between the towns of Prudnik and Głogowec. 70 monks and 180 local volunteers, mostly from the Szlachta, Polish nobility, held off 4,000 Swedes for 40 days, saved their sacred icon and, according to some accounts, turned the course of the war. This event led King John II Casimir Vasa to give what has become known as the Lwów Oath. He submitted the Polish Commonwealth under the protection of Our Lady and proclaimed her Queen of Poland in the Cathedral of Lwów on April 1, 1656. Before this event, several royal nobilities have offered crowns to the image throughout the years, replacing its iron sheet crown wreath with one in gold with several jewels. In later years, various gemstones were interchanged and repositioned around the image to preserve the icon's aesthetic by replacing the stolen crowns. Legends about the Madonna's appearance. The legend concerning the two scars on the Black Madonna's right cheek is that the Hussites stormed the Pauline monastery in 1430, plundering the sanctuary. Among the items stolen was the icon. The Hussites tried to get away after putting it in their wagon, but their horses refused to move. They threw the portrait down to the ground, and one of the plunderers drew his sword upon the image and inflicted 2 deep strikes. When the robber tried to inflict a 3rd strike, he fell to the ground and writhed in agony until his death. Despite past attempts to repair these scars, they had difficulty covering up those slashes as the painting was done with tempera infused with diluted wax. Veneration. Częstochowa is regarded as the most popular shrine in Poland, with many Polish Catholics making a pilgrimage there every year. Since 1711, a pilgrimage leaves Warsaw every August 6 for the 9-day, 140-mile trek. Elderly pilgrims recall stealing through the dark countryside at great personal risk during the Nazi occupation. Pope John Paul II secretly visited as a student pilgrim during World War II. Pontifical approbations. Pope Clement XI issued a decree of canonical coronation for the image via the Vatican chapter on September 8, 1717. It is the third image to merit a decree of pontifical coronation outside of Rome. The first one is the Madonna of Tarsat in Croatia, followed by the Virgin of Mount Gorizia in Slovenia. Pope Pius X, after the crowns were stolen on October 23, 1909, the pontiff replaced the crowns on May 22, 1910. Pope John Paul II gifted another set of crowns as a native of Poland, placed on August 26, 2005. 3 pontiffs have granted golden roses to the image: Pope John Paul II, 1978, Pope Benedict XVI, 2006, Pope Francis, 2016. Outside Poland, Orthodox Christian believers in Ukraine and Belarus as former parts of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Ukrainians have a special devotion for the Madonna of Czestochowa. The icon is often mentioned in Ukrainian folk songs from the 16th and 17th centuries. The American National Shrine of Our Lady of Czestochowa is located in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Another shrine of the image is located in Garfield Heights, Ohio, erected on October 1, 1939, by the Sisters of St. Joseph of the Third Order of St. Francis. Icon usage in the Haitian Vodou religion. Due to its Africanized image, the icon has been syncretized by some Vodou practitioners to the deity Azili Dantor, the main Loa of the Petro family in Haitian Vodou. It is hypothesized that the image was introduced into Haiti by the reproductions of the Black Madonna brought by Polish soldiers who sided with the rebels during the Haitian Revolution. Feast Day, 26 August. The feast day of Our Lady of Czestochowa is celebrated on 26 August. Main Marian celebrations at Jasna Góra Monastery. May 3, Feast of Saint Virgin Mary, Queen of Poland. July 16, Memory of Saint Mary of the Virgin of Mount Carmel, Our Lady of the Scapular. August 15, Church Fair of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary. August 26, Feast of Saint Virgin Mary of Czestochowa. September 8, Feast of the Nativity of the Holy Virgin Mary. December 8, Solemnity of the Immaculate Conception of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Mass time. Weekdays: 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m., 8 a.m., in Latin, 9:30 a.m., 11 a.m., 1:30 p.m., 3:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m. Sundays: 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., in Latin, 9:30 a.m., 11 a.m., 12:30 p.m., 2 p.m., 3:30 p.m., 5 p.m., 6:30 p.m., 8 p.m. Church visiting time. Every days, 5:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Contact info. Jasna Góra Monastery, A. Kordekiego 2, 42, 225, Czestochowa, Poland. Website, www.jasnagora.pl. How to reach the Jasna Góra Monastery. Katowice Airport, also known as Katowice Wojciech Korfanty Airport, is an international airport, located in Pierzałęce, 30 kilometers north of Katowice, Poland. Is the nearby airport to Jasna Góra Monastery. Czestochowa Railway Station at Częstochowa, Silesian Voivodeship, Poland, is the nearby train station to Jasna Góra Monastery. If you wish to know more about Catholic shrine basilicas, Marian shrines and Marian apparitions, Subscribe to our Catholic Shrine Basilica YouTube channel. Like and share with your loved ones. For more churches website www.catholicshrinebasilica.com.